OFC Podcast Radio. This is me.
Welcome to OFC Podcast Radio, where every beat, every word, and every laugh is a celebration of our journey. Join Gina the Great, your joy curator, Farrah Hammond Freeman, the head honcho, and me, Queen Kaya, your soul sister. Stay tuned for a dose of melanated excellence right here on OFC Podcast Radio. But before we do anything else, we're going to bless our show and the kings and queens listening.
Oh, beautiful people, blessed melanated rising. I'm so grateful to life. I'm grateful to God, our creator, and I'm grateful to our ancestors for bringing us back once again, for creating this opportunity for us to be able to be on here, to be on air, to bless each and every one of you guys. And I just ask that today's show, let it be uplifting, let it be entertaining, let it be fun, let it be educational, but most importantly, let it be empowering for each and every one of our listeners as we send out that spirit of love, light, unity, strength, great health, wealth, and peace. Ashe, Ashe, Aibobo, Hotep, amen, and all that good stuff. Gina the Great, we are back.
It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step to.
Yes, we should have been ready, Gina. I could have spliced that in. No, just kidding. I couldn't have. Go ahead.
No, I like to keep them guessing. Always keep them on their toes. I feel like there's so much to say. August was such a great month and so much things going on. And then so there's like part of it where you're like, yeah, I have so much things going on. And like, it just happened. So now you just can't remember most of things. But I will kick off with this. I traveled more in this month of August, which, when we had our discussions offline in terms of taking some time off during the summer, I do realize and recognize that August is my busiest summer month. And it kicked off with a wedding, but that also meant me being out of town as of the 27th. And I think there's 31 days in August. I probably have been home about 12 days out of the month of August. No, 12 sounds like too much. Let's call it a solid 10. I think it's like a solid
20 10. Days out of the month. You going, Jill?
Well, listen, there's things to do. And so, first and foremost, shout out to Joanne who got married and we went out to Chicago. Had us a good time. We weren't there for a long time, but we were there for a great time. And that it was. I like Chicagoans. I like Chicago. It's a nice city. I semi-worked for a little bit, so I went and checked out my office out there, and I stayed by a friend, and her hosting was A1 excellente. But definitely had a time there. Came back home for a couple of days and then found myself back in where, you guessed it, Toronto. And then it was the arrays of birthdays. And so we were in Chicago for Naz's birthday, so on the same day of the wedding. So that was a nice, fun, long day, but we did a little bit of that. And then we went to brunch. I think it was called the Pelican. Yeah, it's called the Pelican. The brunch was banging. And their butcher shop, which is across the street from the restaurant, was actually featured in the show The Bear. I don't know. Do you know The Bear?
No, not really.
It's a really good show. It's a show like it's kind of like it's a not that it's a cooking show like they cook, but it's a premise of like a chef and all that in their restaurant. So it's a really good show. Check that out. But that was delicious and great. And so after Naz's birthday, of course. So then that's what happened. August is it's a barrage of birthdays. So then Naz and then my brother Joe, my youngest brother Joe, was his birthday. Took him out for lunch for that. Then it was JoJo's birthday. And let me tell you about Activate. I didn't even tell you about Activate since I've been back, have I?
No, you never spoke about Activate.
All right. So his birthday parties on the Saturday. His birthday's on the Sunday though, right? But so his birthday party's on the Saturday. We go for buffet because that's his favorite restaurants is buffet because he's just like, he sees what it is. He knows what he likes, what he doesn't like.
Sorry.
I'm just gonna yell?
just throw figures out. I'm just gonna throw figures out while you're speaking. Sorry.
Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. Right. So he says like, it's ready immediately. He takes what he wants, and he doesn't like it. He doesn't get what he doesn't want. So for him, buffets is like the life.
Mm-hmm.
So we go there, and then we go to Activate. And Activate, we're dressed like decent to go for a birthday and whatnot. So Activate has like I think 10 or 12 rooms that you go into, and you have about an hour and 15 minutes. Yeah, so an hour 15 minutes. And in each room you kind of go into, it's a different activity. So, there's one activity, it's hoops, and there's another activity that's called Mega Grid. There's grid and then there's Mega Grid. Work your way up to Mega Grid. To anyone who's listening and who goes to Activate, work your way up to Mega Grid. But long story short, right? We went in dry. We came out sweating buckets.
Word.
And not only were we sweating, the people who were outside of the gaming area, so these were mainly the mothers and watching like the younger children and the grandparents who were just there also with the younger children, just like with everyone just hanging out. They're like, we could hear you guys in there just like yelling and screaming, and we had a time, okay? A time.
And wait, the place is called Activate.
It's called Activate, yes. And the reason why you're hearing someone yell and scream, because there's like, let's say, for example, there's a game called, I think it's called Hideout or Hide, and there's an eye in the room, and you have to get certain activities. So like so each game has two modes. So it has collaborate or competitive. And then each game will have 2 to 5 or maybe even 6 versions of that game. Okay. So you can be in there for a hot minute, right? And like that's how I have to say they're smart, and that's how they get you. Now, shout out to the fact that this whole premise and idea started in a guy from Winnipeg's garage, and he just kind of had this idea, and he started it in Winnipeg. And so this is a Canadian born and grown activity space or whatever. And now they're in Canada, US, Dubai, and I think the UK. And after coming out of there, my dad's like, I wonder, what's the I wonder if they franchise. I was like, I did. They do. I checked the website.
You said you want to buy one.
I'm just saying, we bring that to Quebec, and it's on and popping because we don't have it here.
Okay.
Right. So Hide will tell you to do certain things, and it's kind of like we did one where it's like you got to spell out the word, and so there's buttons all over the room, and it'll have letters on it, and it'll be like, okay, spell out apple before the time runs out, and you have to hide so that the eye can't see you. But like the A will be on one end, and you have to look for, and then every time you hit every time you hit all the letters on that word, another word comes up. But if the eye sees you,
it almost sounds like a escape room on steroids.
On steroids, 100%.
Okay, that's what I'm getting.
And
okay.
I mean, it isn't. It isn't. I think those are two very separate things. Like, I mean, in an escape room, you're always kind of looking for clues and stuff.
True.
This was less looking for clues, and this was more about. It was one of those games that gets you, that activates you. You're actually really active. You know what?
No pun intended.
Yeah, you're very active. You run around from room to room. Like Grid and Mega Grid is when like the whole floor is it's a grid and it has different colors, and so it moves. So like I don't know if you've ever seen the ad on social media and you see people like jumping over like a red beam that's going on the floor. Like it's that place. There's a room that's like a laser room, so you got to figure out how to get the laser room and stuff like that. Anyway, it was so fun that we went back the next day.
Yeah, stop it, Gina. Oh my god.
But when we pulled up the next day though, we're all men's in like full active wear.
Oh god.
Hell yeah. All men's in sneakers and kicks, shorts for most, and like a t-shirt and all these things. And my brother Elijah, he didn't go the Saturday. He came he came the Sunday. And he was the only one in like some like
he was
long
ready.
it was long pants. He's like, yo, man didn't tell me it was this serious. I was like, we didn't come to play. Like, I mean, we did.
But the way we play, guys.
Yeah.
Somebody's getting feelings hurt by the end of this.
So you also get a chip. A chip with it, so it keeps your score. And because you also have levels, and when you hit certain points, you like the first score you get. I think it's a water bottle. And yeah, so it's like a water bottle, and then the second, like, and it goes up to like basket. It goes up to a few different things. But the fun part is if you go the first time and you get that chip, and if you go back a second time within, I think, the week or 2 weeks from when you go the first time, you do get 50% off. So we absolutely took advantage of that and went back to back. So super shout out to Activate on that.
Yo, shout out to Activate. Shout out for the ideas, and I think you should bring it to Quebec. Let me know. I want to
look. You have to apply for franchise, and I actually probably want to look into it, to be honest, because I'm all about diversifying income, and it's absolutely something that I think, like, all you got to do is do it once, and that'll spread like wildfire. Yeah,
amen 100%. To that. And the same way the escape rooms blow up out here, I really feel it would be the same kind of energy. So
the only thing that I wonder as to why they're not in Quebec yet, I think it's probably they're probably not ready from a language law perspective.
Well, no,
you're gonna have to make sure.
It's funny you say that you have to make sure everything's translated, because there's a lot of disparities. Obviously, there's a lot of issues when it comes to bringing business into Quebec. But one of the organizations we founded, and shout out to Group 3737 who funded, is to be a bridge between business owners across the world, for lack of a better term, but at least across Canada, who want to come into business in Quebec. So we're setting up to be able to serve as that bridge to make sure all the documentation is properly translated. Sorry, you want to say something?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, I agree. I agree with that. I just don't think that they're probably not set up with translated yet. That's why my assumption is that they're building on that, because for it to be truly successful in Quebec, it's great for anyone who speaks English in Quebec, but despite what they try to show, we are a minority in the province of Quebec, and so for it to be actually really successful outside of Montreal, it would need to have the option of the French version. So that's doubling up all the work that they have to do, which
I can tell you, if you're serious about it, and real talk, because I'm literally in negotiations right now with an Ontario-based company that is blowing up across Canada, and they have no intentions on coming into Quebec because of the language.
Of the language laws, yeah.
So now, so what our company is doing is coming in as a partner, and we are taking on the lead. Like, they don't want to take care of any translation. So most companies don't want that headache. If anything, actually, in these people's case, they're translating to Spanish because they're quicker to go to the United States and to come into Quebec, right? So because the fact that we have this connection with we're able to do that bridge between the language, and we know a lot of the ins when it comes to some of the paperwork and the blah 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 when it comes to doing business in Quebec. We're now opening that for them. So all that to say, I'm down to support your idea, and if you do dive in and language is an issue, I could bring in some partners that could help to facilitate.
Well, let me not assume things. Let me go ahead and trying to reach out to them and find out what that truly means to be able to franchise, what that looks like cost wise, what that looks like logistically to come out to Quebec, because it is a viable.
Yo, guys, you're hearing business on air, guys. This is how it happens in real life. Man's having a conversation.
I'm gonna have to do that before this airs too, because sometimes you air things and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, I blink twice and there's 2 activates in Quebec.
Oh, trust, and you're like, right.
But at the end of the day, though, I live in abundance. I live a life of abundance, so I don't live a life of scarcity. So it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter at all.
Trust me, your things are going. All right, so that's gonna do.
Yo, check 1, 2. This is Flavor Public Enemy, and you're listening to CKUT and the place to be from the bottom to the TOP.
We were on for a month. My goodness.
Well, gee, you want to bring in a commercial or no? You just want to go
but hold your horses, because every time I talk about my stuff, they're like, "Oh yeah," and let me interject, and then it's like, "Is it my turn yet?" I'm like, it kind of came on my part, but okay.
See, the listeners missed this. Okay, go ahead.
Then I ended that travel to Toronto with a baby shower, because my brother Naz is expecting his first child, and so we had the baby shower then. That was great. And now officially August has become the month of 5 birthdays in my close proximity, because Kiki Kiera Keeks, depending on who you are and how you know her, she did give birth to her son Sylvan on August 31st. Yes, indeed.
Yes, big shout out.
Yes. So we're super happy at that. But now that officially makes August our heaviest birthday month. In my in the family of 10. Now again, he is a bonus sister slash cousin who's been living with us since her mom passed when she was 5. And so it's that. Now I know you think I'm done and I'm not, because that was just half my month of August.
Yo, first of all, shout out to wait, what do you call her? Kiki? You said Kiara?
Well, we call her Kiki. Well, most people call her Kiki. I tend to call her Keeks, but her.
Anyway, I just remember as Kiara, and I would love to see her again. It's been donkey age. I'm old. Like since when I saw her, I was young, right?
Yeah, you're a nerd. Well, she moved back to Toronto, so that was a good time, and you can see the baby.
Okay, cool.
So 2 more points, and then it will be Pharaoh's turn. A quick point that I'll mention, and maybe I'll dive into it a bit more next week, because again, we don't want an hour of intro here, but shout out to Max the Healer. I went for an energy cleanse with him. He is a certified naturopath. So I want to take the moment to actually talk about that, but I just want to put it as a point today in terms of return and things that I did in August that I'll get back to next week. So I'll put that in brackets. But the pièce de résistance for me this month, actually, I guess that falls into beginning of September because I went yesterday. I'm a hiker now, you know.
Oh, okay.
I bought the hiking shoes. I was ready. Yeah, no, I did. I got them.
First step.
Yeah.
That was the first part. Important.
The first step. And I kind of reached out to my aunts, like my mom and her sisters, and then also Isaiah, my brother. And I was like, hey, if you guys are down for a hike, like I want to go for a hike, not in Montreal, but not too far out. So if anyone's down, let me know. Like with everyone's schedules, some were saying yes because we're going to go this Saturday, but it was raining and we ended up being Sunday, and so some weren't available. So Isaiah, his wife, and I, we went to Poco Moonshine Mountain in the Adirondacks in upstate New York. And great thing.
How long of a drive is that?
It's a 90-minute drive.
Okay, about an hour and a half. Okay, cool.
If the border makes sense, which it did not make sense yesterday.
Of course, but think about it. It's a long weekend, Labor Day.
It was a Sunday. Wouldn't you already be there from the Saturday or the Friday?
Last minute fete. I trying to go for Monday, yes. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Let me tell you something. I was not impressed because we were delayed like 2 hours at the border.
Yikes. Yo, I would have told you we have a 40-acre hiking trail right next to the retreat. You could have come and done that.
No, we had other plans.
Yes, I hear you.
We chose to go to Poco Moonshine Mountain. Yes. And this is my first mountain hike in like 5 years. And so my brain said, okay, so I basically Googled which Adirondack mountains are the closest to Montreal, because one was just like, oh, this is easy, but it's 3 hours away. I'm like, no, I'm not trying to do that. So there was Lions Mountain, Poco Moonshine, and another one. And so we just said, you know what, Poco Moonshine is the closest. It should be fine, cool. Now, with each trail, you'll have a difficulty level that'll tell you how difficult this trail is. Now, I was getting confused with other trails because I thought this trail was moderate. 10 minutes in, I was like, WTF? This is moderate?
Is that a cliff and a rope to swing across?
No. When I tell you, we basically hiked for 4 hours. Well, 4 hours including the 30 minutes we spent at the peak, which was really nice, though, by the way. I'll send you pictures.
Please.
That don't do it justice, but I'll send you pictures.
Got it.
But Isaiah and his wife, they went on a hike, I think 2-3 weeks ago. And so they do it often enough, right? They went to St. Bruno, actually. And they did it. And even then they're just like, yeah, this is a little hard. This is
and it was your first time hiking?
My first time in 5 years, bro.
Oh, wow. Jesus.
Okay.
You went straight to 100. Okay, good.
No, by the time I got back to the car after everything was said and done, I went back to it and was just like, oh, this one said moderately challenging to very challenging. And then when you go on the hiking app, it was like, this just said hard. This is hard. Okay? It's hard. And not only was it hard, because when I tell you, In the first 10 minutes, my calves were burning. First and foremost. Then B, the knees were kicking in. Some of the rocks, I was like, this isn't even a step. I had to take a moment and be like, and like, honestly, coming back, I'm just like, okay. I started Googling knee exercises because I'm going to need to strengthen my knees. That was wild.
Yeah.
And
you could let us know if you cried. It's okay. You could let us know if you cried.
No, I should have though. I should have.
Okay. No, but I'm saying it's a safe space.
But you know what I did do? You know what I did do though? I had to tell myself mantras, and I was just like, "You can do it. You can do it. You could do it. You could do it." I promise you. I kept repeating that to myself. And then when I hit the spot where you had flat, because then thankfully Zoe, who was like far ahead, she's just like, "It's flat over here." I'm just like, "Okay, you can
give you encouragement." Yeah, it would give you that encouragement you need.
Just get to the flat. Get to the flat. Get to the flat. And then at one point, like one was so steep, you couldn't even see where the flat was coming. So it was just like, I was like, left foot, right foot, left foot, little steps. Shout out to Isaiah, because he really was like, he waited for me when he needed to. He says, okay. And he's like, oh, this slippery here, watch this out. Get to the peak. Everything's fantastic. I was like, oh my gosh, whose idea was this? It was mine. But got there and like it erased everything. And we're just like, all right, guys, not too bad. Going down is going to be a breeze. Guess what?
It was not.
Guess what, guys?
It's actually just as hard going back down.
It's just as hard.
But wait, hold on. Everybody wants to know. Was there a bathroom at the top, and did you get a chance to pee? Because that was the first. I thought when you got to the top, you need to pee. Because for me, I know I need to pee when I get to the top. No? Okay.
No, because you sweat so much, you pee through sweat. What peeing?
Yeah,
I didn't need to pee.
On all your clothes, everything.
Yeah.
Soaking wet.
Well, what liquids did you think I have left in my body?
Okay, cool.
Because I was sweating buckets.
Cool. Got it.
So now on this way down, because the thing is, it's hard to climb up something, but it's scary to trail it back. By the way,
yeah.
Especially
you stumble, roll.
It's
some
over.
On that. Yeah.
So I got a quick reminder. Once upon a time, a tangent, I used to work on a 35th floor in an office building downtown, and the fire alarm system went off. Ooh. So we had to go down the stairs 35 floors. And when I got to the bottom, my legs were doing the chicken dance. They were just like, they were noodles, right? Yeah, just shaking. I felt that in the first 10 minutes of going down the mountain.
Oh no.
And I didn't even get to the part where the steep part, because there was that steep part. Remember when I told you there was a steep part where I couldn't see where the flat was? Well, guess what? You got to come back down that way.
Yeah. You didn't just go on your bum and slide down like a child?
No, not there, but I had to when we got to the peak, though.
It's like, when we not that far.
No, at the peak, you had to, because like to climb up the peak, I was like, whoa, this is steep. But then to come back down, I was just like, because to climb up, it had little spaces to put your feet in.
Right.
But like when you're coming back down, it's like, I'm
scared. My palms are sweaty thinking about it. It was great.
High key. So it was slide on the bum, and then it was turn around and try to put your feet back into those little grooves that allowed you to get up at the peak. But wait, sorry, I forgot to tell you. Then it started raining.
Oh,
yeah. It started pouring, and it was a moving cloud, because every time we were on flat ground, we were able to get away from it, and then when we had to get down steep hills, all you heard was catching up. Yeah.
It's like a monster. Hurry up! It's coming.
And of course, because it's raining, it's a dark cloud, so like it's getting darker in this forest, and we are the last ones in there because there's a sign-in sheet to go in, and like we should have been done earlier, but again, we were stuck at the border at 2 hours. So when we got there, by the way, people who hike are really nice people, and they say hi, and they're like, "You got this. Go ahead. How you doing? It's good out there. Oh my gosh, when you get to the top, it's amazing." So it's a really pleasant thing to do.
Right, it's a community type vibe, yes.
Yeah, but we saw a whole lot more people passing us when we were going up, because obviously they were there earlier and not stuck at a border like we were. Anyway, all that to say, it was a great time. I'm going on another hike next week. It's Sutton, but I'm making sure to see easy. At least maybe I can do moderate, because at first my whole walk up and down, I was just like, this is moderate. I need the super easy.
Yeah.
Kitty one.
100.
And then
I just started version.
Yeah, but then I found out it was hard, and so I do think I can do moderate. I think easy won't be challenging enough. But I'll still try something easy just to kind of gauge in between where I fit.
Yo,
But
I could tell you there's a queen. If you, I don't know if you're already familiar with them. Are you familiar with Hike MTL?
no.
Okay, definitely check out Hike MTL. Our homegirl Jamila is the founder of that. They do hikes. They do all kind of like amazing initiatives as a collective. They've now developed like this whole community vibe. So it's a bunch of hikers, new hikers. But
Oh,
they
awesome.
even do stuff in the winter as well, like winter.
Oh,
Anyway,
I'm out.
yeah,
Okay, I'm
I
out
know
for
you'd be
winter
out, but
though. Yeah.
I'm just saying you definitely want to check them out. Like shout out to Hike MTL.
I will once I get a couple of hikes under the belt. Because I'm the type of person like that's why I don't even like going to gyms because it's like let me practice on my own some.
Oh, before you don't want to be
And
caught
then
sweating in front of a group of people that you don't know. I get
yeah,
it.
just like and then like everyone's kind of just like that was 3 steps. Oh yeah? Okay. Like
Just
I
getting
don't want to be
warmed
that
up.
guy.
Okay, dude.
But all that I'll finish it up with this and this finishes up my part of my segment. Or it's not segment, the intro, but something
Oh
that's
no, it
really
was a
cool.
segment, my friend. It was a segment. Go ahead.
If you keep interrupting, it just gets longer. The one thing though I thought was absolutely amazing is that when you are hiking in nature, the nature hikes with you, and I just like one of like the hard parts where I was just like, you can do it, you can do it, you can make it just one foot after the other. When I got to the top, like the leaves and stuff, it's as if it sounded like they were clapping for me. And it was a whole thing where it was just like, and I was like, just like, thank you, I appreciate you. And like, even in like certain moments in the coming down where I had to like, leverage a tree and stuff, I was just like, oh man, like you grew here for me because you knew I was going to need you. Like, it just felt like we were in it together, and that like, that hit different heights and levels. And despite doing that, and like, my body hurts today, although by the way, it does hurt. But it was a great adventure, start to finish. We were absolutely done. Even when we came back from the border, they were kind of like, "Are you bringing back anything with you?" I was like, "Yeah, our broken bodies."
Yeah, you're so
And,
dumb.
and he's like, "Was it a hard one?" I was like, "Yeah."
It's terrible.
But I think quite a few people were going for a hike because like most of them just kind of deduced it. I was really like, "Where you going?" I was going to Poco Mine. He's like, "Okay, so you guys going for a hike when you come back today?" I'm like, "Okay, so seems like it's something they do." But that's how I ended our month off.
Let's take a quick positive cause just to shout out our homegirls, Kemba and Andrea from Keen Real Estate Group. Whenever you're thinking real estate, whenever you're thinking investments, whenever you're thinking about planning for the long term, think Keen Real Estate Group. They're generating wealth for generations. KeenGroup.ca. If your goal is to purchase a car and to make the process as simple as possible, just get a car broker, guys. You just get a car broker. Big shout out to our homeboy, Hamsdale Jacques, the owner of hjcourtierauto.com. That's HJCOURTIERAUTO.com. If you're a small to medium-sized business and you're getting started and you're ready to go to that next level, what do you need? You need a phone line and you need a website. Think Mainstream Digicom. They got all your telecommunication needs checked. MainstreamDigicom.com. You're trying to get out on the web. You're trying to understand how to navigate through ads. Check out Java Logics for all your marketing, your digital marketing. Where would we be without Preston? I don't even know. Check out Java Logics. I give thanks to Preston for what he's done for the OFC. The amount of positive reviews we've gotten from all his referrals, we're proud to stand behind his work. Check out javalogics.com. No, it's not just because he's my brother. It's because you can't talk hip-hop in Montreal without saying M City Solo. Guys, check out his latest project, In My Fields, available on mcitysolo.com. If it's not one of the hardest new EPs to hit Montreal, come and let me know. You already know. It's your boy, Pharaoh, bigging up, mcitysolo.com. Keeping the culture alive. I gotta give thanks to West Can Folk Performing Company. For the last 40 years plus, they've been promoting our culture through song, drum, and dance, educating youth, the children, the seniors. Just check them out, westcanfolk.com.
Girl, what are you cooking?
My curry chicken.
Ooh, you're burning it.
Gosh, it looks so...
It's okay, girl. You need the Curry House. They have the best Caribbean food in town. 2 locations in Montreal, West Island, and Côte-de-Neige. For more information, follow Caribbean Curry House, MTL. Don't forget to mention the Empower Hour for your 10% discount.
So, who placed in the order?
Me.
DeVito, WizKid, Burna Boy. Those are just some of the big names that's blessed Montreal thanks to Afrobeats Montreal. Definitely check out Afrobeats MTL for all concerts, show listings, everything that has to do with Afrobeats in the city. Check out Afrobeats MTL. One full circle. We are the Melanated Community Resource Hub and Network. What does that mean? We're here for each other.
How was your month?
Yo, definitely not as eventful as yours, Gina. Like, damn, like, I thought, you know what I mean? I did a couple of things here and there, you know what I mean? I was, shit, maybe I should have started if I would have.
Did a little bit of this, did a little bit of that.
Shit, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I don't even know where to start because we have, I guess, and anyways, you already know how energy works. There's a couple of things that you said there resonates a lot with some of the things I went through or some of the things I experienced at least, but I don't know how early this happened in the whole jump off, but do you remember that heavy rainfall? It was yeah.
Yes. Because I drove out to Toronto during that rain, by the way. But yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you see, and that's the thing. I was driving, so yeah, that was pretty much right at the beginning of our break. So our listeners didn't get to enjoy the good jokes and experiences that your boy went through with his not really paying attention to what's happening in the world and just saying, hey, looks like a little bit of rain, but I gotta drive to the cottage, so I'm gonna do that and come back because I don't really know what's happening in the atmosphere. Same day, same. Yo, talk about not knowing. It's like, but remember, I live in this bubble. I live in this space of Zen that it's like everything's okay in my world all the time until it's not. But so we do the drive. The rain starts to come as we're coming back. Okay. And it's funny because it's Nzinga's birthday weekend and everything. Her birthday is on August 11th. Shout out to Nzinga. So there's things and our neighbor Stanley, shout out to Stanley, his birthday is the day before. So we're like, you know what? We need the air bounce. That's what we're going for. Right. So let's go grab the air bounce at the retreat. Let's bring them back into the city. Cool. Shy and I would do the drive. We leave. It's raining. It's raining kind of hard. And we're like, yo, but it's raining hard enough for Shy's like, yo, it's feeling kind of sketch. You sure you don't want to just go back to the retreat? And I'm like, nah, man. All vibes say home, yo. Let's just get back into the city. Something should have said maybe go back when we're coming out from the retreat and we're driving through a miniature lake. And we're like, this is interesting. This I don't recognize. I do not remember this lake on the road coming up. But let's keep going. So long story short, I get to a point now where I get to Hipponcini, and this is with tension. My back, like, you know, when you're driving in the rain and the car is in front and behind, hazard lights are blinking, and you're just like the anxiety, the tension. You're just like, yo, I just gotta get to my destiny. So this is happening, and I need to buy a shoe rack. Okay, so just so you know, this contrast happening. I know, guys. It's like
what's a random plug?
I know the whole time I need to buy a shoe rack. That was one of my motivations for wanting to get back. I'm like, yo, I gotta get back before.
Oh, you wanted to get back for the shoe rack?
I needed to get back before 9 p.m. so I could hit a Walmart, buy my shoe rack. I'm in organization mode. Okay, boom. Long story, but I'm gonna try to speed up for you guys. Get to Repentigny. I exit because I'm like, yo, let me get there before 9 o'clock. And first of all, obviously the drive from the retreat took way longer than usual, but hey, we get there, boom, get into the Walmart. Again, should have known something was weird because as soon as I walked through the door, the power flashed, like the lights flashed on and off a little bit. And I was like, that's odd. Went to the bathroom. No, sorry. What did I say? I went to the bathroom and the lights flickered when I was in the bathroom. I was like, odd. Okay, let me find Shy right away because this might be let's get out of Walmart very quickly, only grab a couple of things and just go looting style, but let's not. But anyways, so we're like, look, grab our stuff. As we're heading out to the cash, there's some weird muffled something over the mic. We get to the cash, we realize everyone's just kind of standing around because in that power blink, all the caches went down. So we're like, oh
no.
We're like, shoot, the caches are down. All right, cool. So now while we're trying to scratch our heads and figure out what we're going to do, we get a call from the house.
After you risked your life to get to Walmart, eh?
Talk about it. I get a call from the house now. If you see water, my house is flooding. My basement, water is coming in from everywhere. Water is popping up from the shower. My children are in the house, so they're snapping. So Shy and I drop everything. We're like, no time for this down rack. Let's go. After the whole detour, throw the rack down, run through the door. Now it's like, yo, Shy and I are on Dukes of Hazards. Let's just go. Run around the car, jump into the car. It's like a movie. Now, when I tell you it's like a movie, it's kind of like a comedy because we.
I thought you were going to say like a horror movie, but okay,
no,
yeah.
It was comical for me. In real life, it would have been like a horror movie for anybody else in that scenario, because we get out of there. I now picture our hearts are pumping, our house is flooding, our children and Nana are home. What is happening? We need to get there. As we go over this little hill thing in Repentigny, we hit traffic. Now, I see the traffic, I'm in the left lane. I see the traffic early enough to cut across all the way to the right and exit the lane. Right, so I exit the highway because I'm like, I gotta get out of this deadlock highway traffic. Boom. So I come out of it onto the service road. You know the expression "out of the pot into the fire"? Yeah, it's one of those.
Yes.
One of those scenarios. The service road completely blocked because there's a lake blocking the service road. Traffic basically is at a point now where people are out of their cars, just standing around. You know, them kind of traffic where it's just like, oh, this is what's happening right now. Out of the car traffic. Oh, in Jesus' name, I need to get home. Long story. Cut over a median. Okay, you know how we get down. I got my shout out to Outback Subaru all day. 4-wheel drive. I follow some next man who's in a Jeep too, and then we start a whole convoy. Everybody's driving over this median. Let's get out of this traffic. Boom. So we get out of this traffic. Now I'm heading down the highway in the wrong direction because I just wanted to get out of the traffic. Now I'm heading north. I live on the south. I'm not sure why I'm driving north, but I'm happy to be out of the traffic. I see a break in the road. I am making an illegal U-turn because this is what's happening. It's Armageddon, okay? Nothing matters anymore. There's no more rules. U-turn. Now I'm excited because the roads are clear. Shy and I high five. Let's do it. South Shore, here we go. Wrong again, because what ends up happening, technically I should have stayed on the service road and didn't get so excited. Got excited, jumped back on another highway, another gridlock traffic, Gina. When I tell you, on this time, there's no way out. I'm in the traffic and I'm in it. And it's like I kind of suffer from a weird claustrophobia. So it's like I really don't like being stuck. I kind of secretly hate the carry for that reason too. But anyways, I digress on this. So look,
just to point out, because I was experiencing that too, and in that grid, and just another day when I was driving to carry, they have that whole mega mall that they're building up there.
Yeah.
I was like, how are people supposed to get to this?
Oh, it's gonna be traffic all day.
I'm never going on DeCarry again for the rest of my life. For
the rest of your life, no, don't. I wouldn't recommend it unless you're hovering over it. But shout out to Royal Mall, which is nice. It's nice to see the new mall. Not so nice to not see any cultural representation on that big image that they put on the front of the mall. So shout out to you guys for not.
Wait, is it open already?
No, it's not. It's just you can see it from the outside. They made it. It's like the biggest, whitest image you've ever seen in your life. It's a plethora of all white families where you're like, you guys could not find, and we're in Montreal, Quebec. You could not. Let me see a hijab in there, a colored person, maybe something. Like, really, guys? More fire in your place. If I ever spend $1 in there, I'd be surprised. All right. Digress, Gina. I don't know why you bring me off my story. Can you let me finish the story? Okay. So look. Now
watch how you talk to me.
No. Okay. So now Shy and I are at a point where we put a movie on the dash because we're like, look, we are here. All right. This is what's happening.
A movie?
No.
On the dash of the car?
No. What else you gonna do, G? Yo, shit, life gives you lemons, bro. Lemonade, G. Thirsty. So look. So we're watching this thing. I look ahead and I see on the when you're coming onto the highway, an entrance to come onto the highway. Mm-hmm. I tell myself that when I get to that entrance, my G, I am reversing out of that bad boy. All right. Mm-hmm. I guess I set the frequency up ahead because I kid you not, I set it and I look, I'm like, people are doing it. That's what I'm talking about. People are reversing out of this thing. So now we're moving slow, but we're moving. then it stops moving. Why does it stop moving, Gina? Because a 18-wheeler decided to just stop there. He can't back out, so he decides, I'm just going to stay. But he could have moved. He could have, anyways. All to say, I actually even walked ahead just to see what was going on. I got
outside.
That's
in the pouring rain.
Oh no! I just wanted to stop rain. Thanks. Oh yeah, I forgot to give you an update. Yeah. Thank God it stopped raining when I did the first medium jump.
Okay.
So now, anyways, all to say, thank that 18-wheeler guy who had some compassion. Somebody went and pleaded with him and was like, "Can you just move a little bit so the rest of these cars could get off the highway?" So the guy did move a big 18-wheeler so the rest of us could get out, and we got home. We got home just in time for everything to, like, the children had done, and everybody here, my brother and sister-in-law, they were in from Ghana, so they were here helping to bail out water, clear out water out of the house. We just got back just enough time just to see everything just kind of damp, but not the 6 inches of water that everyone else was in. I'm glad that my son is still alive. We got a semi-electrocuted trying to they had to remove stuff from the basement. We had stuff plugged in, so as he was trying to remove stuff, he got a minor electric shock. Shout out to my insurance that does not cover for anything. That's good. It was really awesome, and I'm not the only one. I spoke to so many people that their insurance is like, no, we don't cover these kind of things. Like, disrespect. Anyways, Gina, I have to say we have taken this whole experience glass half full. I have spoken to some people who were very devastated, very upset, very down. I try my best to be that ray of sunshine where I tell them all, hey, if you want to compare, first of all, in my certain scenario, our insurance is not covering it. So everything's coming out of my pocket, if that makes you feel any better. Second of all, I'm actually feeling pretty good about it because I've been telling myself I got to get rid of some clutter in the basement, and I went to redo the floors. So the spirit was like, nigga, you taking too long. I'm going to wash this truth and just wash it out. And, I said that, it's funny. I was talking to one of my boys, and I said it kind of jokingly, and I kid you not, I got this peace in my spirit that was like, hey, you just hit it right on the head. Because it's not just, guys, we're about to take a little sidestep and talk spirituality for a second, but we need to understand that we're in an era. One, there's a lot of transfers happening. So a lot of energy leaving the planet, coming back on the planet. A lot of our elders that's been around for a long time, they're transcending. New energies are coming onto the planet like en masse. So if you could picture, there's a whole wave of new energy hitting the planet, and when they get to Montreal, they're like, SEPT, what's happening here?
Not SEPT.
No, but there's something, quoi qui dérange mon nez, So it's like, look, something is not right. We're back. Let's do a quick washout. So energy, wash out, splish splash, clean down the thing.
So you're saying that was like a mini Noah's Ark?
I'm saying it was a mini Noah's Ark. Thank you, Gina. My God, geez, that's why I talk to you, Gina. That's why I talk to you. You already know what time it is. So that's exactly what we just experienced. So people out there, rest assured, this is, everything happens for a reason. Yo, get rid of old clutter, clear out things in your house, feel positive, trust the spirit that everything's gonna balance itself out because everything is in divine order. So that's really like, I kid you not, we've been riding on that energy. Everything has been flowing so far so good. Been tearing up stuff. Trust me. And actually, funny enough, we even discovered some other damage that was happening in the house that we weren't aware of. Right? Because we had funny enough, there's a leak, long story, coming in from the roof that we weren't aware of, dripping down all the way into the basement. And so there was a part of the basement that was actually starting to rot away that we hadn't even realized. Anyways, grateful.
But heavy rains will do that to you though, right? Like it ends up it uncovers all the flaws, whether you liked it or not, or whether you knew it or not.
So you're hitting it, Jen. So that was it. So it's like I think that was like the beginning of the August, and it's like the August has been a very heavy month for me in terms of spiritually. Like I went through some ups and downs just in work, just in mentally, emotionally, spiritually, that I had to go through. I had a session with our guides. As you guys know, I meet with our spiritual guides at least once or twice a year. So I recently had a session, and they helped to just remind me and give me context about where we are and what's happening right now, and it's always it's always cool and reassuring to hear that, despite everything seeming chaotic and out of control, it's very reassuring to know that you're on course, you're here on purpose. And if I could, bless any of our listeners out there with any words of encouragement or motivation, it would be to really take stock of the fact that you came to life on purpose. You came to really have an experience, whether you are interpreting that as a negative experience or not. You came into life to have this life experience. It's not for nothing. Like, it's not an easy process to be able to come into life, and being able to do it, you don't want to take it for granted. And we're not here for a long time. Like, we're not even, a lot of times in these days, we're not even here for a full 100 years. So it's a very short period of time. So when people are upset, angry, hating on each other, carrying a certain negative frequency, know that it's like you're wasting your life. You're wasting the precious gift that you have, carrying a certain negative energy. Understand that when you go through things and they come and they create contrast or they create challenges in your life, it's on purpose. You yourself are drawing into those things into your experience to help you to evolve. Right. And so that, so if I could leave that, if I could bless anybody with that, if that's a reassurance for anybody, yeah, please take that. And on that same note, just we were talking about this, and we're saying, actually, let me frame it better. Somebody was asking me, so in this scenario, when you say people come into life on purpose and whatever the case, what about babies when there's miscarriages, or what about like a child that dies, or and they started listing off a bunch of these things, and it's all one and the same. It's like when a child comes into a life experience and let's say it's a miscarriage, so it's in and out, they're only in for a moment.
It was intentional.
It's very intentional, because some entities, if you see us, and if you could picture us in a spiritual form, some entities are like, I'm gonna try life. And some of them, like hardback return spirits like myself, I'm like, yeah, sign me up, let me go back again, because it's wild, I love it, right? But some of them are like, yo, I'm not sure, let me dip my toe in it and see what go on. So they come in and like, okay, that's dope, in, out, woo, that was a rush. I was live for like 30 seconds. That shit was crazy. Right? But it's the reality, because that is what it is. It's like we get this opportunity to come into life. And when you're coming to life, it's like, whoa, now why is it such a rush? Why is it so exciting? If we're so powerful and so everything, it's because when you come into life, you sign an agreement saying that you're going to forget, and you're going to be in your body. And this is where things go awry, because when you come into your body has free will. Your mind is a machine. You're in an avatar that actually could take full control. So you can be stuck as a spirit living in this body for years, and basically have to go through this whole life of turmoil where you're like, my God, I was in the spiritual realm doing whatever I wanted to do, up, down, da, 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 and now I'm stuck in this body who thinks I have to be like this, and it's carrying itself in a certain way, and life is not lit. Let me bring it back to our point. So Gina, even when you were talking about the trees and stuff like that and how they gave life, and now picture some entities are so conscious and so strong and so excited about life that they come into a tree and they're alive for thousands of years, and they get to see life from such a vantage point and experience life from such a vantage point. It is amazing. But the flip side of that is you might come in as an ant and be like, yo, I only want to be around for a couple of minutes. Right. So anyways, so it's important, because this was a part of, and I'm sharing this because this was part of my August revelation, guys. You guys already know I'd be living on like this type of wildness on this side. But it was like I said, for me, this month was a very spiritually enlightening time, very uplifting, very challenging, but for a reason. Other quick things I just want to touch on in terms of updates that happened throughout the month that was cool. I want to give a shout out just to the OFC community at large. There's been so much awesome developments. There's an initiative that we're working on with one of our members who is in Alberta. And when I tell you all the members mobilized to support, we need to put together some letters of support to bring up some youth from Alberta to bring them to Quebec. And we're able to get some stuff done in such a short period of time, but only because the fact that we have the power of a community behind us. So I want to give a huge shout out to the OFC community for what they do, businesses, organizations, affiliates, even the individuals who are in there and willing to support and encourage and support. And be there to support as they can. So that is huge. I want to make sure to give a huge shout out to that. I did allude to a launch of one of our programs. So that's the bilingual bridge. So I'm just putting that out there for people who are, if ever you're trying to do business within the province of Quebec and you're having an issue because of the language, please reach out. Reach out to the OFC, and it's going to be our pleasure to connect and bridge you with. It is the bilingual bridge of Quebec, Canada. So I'm really excited about that and happy to be able to create that bridge. Now, you see, Gina, prior to our break, I was in a funk. I was in a funk because I wasn't happy about what was happening with the state of the Montreal Carnival. Do you remember that season in my life? You remember the season?
Yes, I remember it very clearly.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be past that season now. So look, I'm at a point right now where actually I went to a community of practice meeting being held by Group 3737. And so for those who don't know what that is, it's where everybody who has been funded by Group 3737 is invited to, hear about different initiatives, different things going on, et cetera, et cetera. So this community of practice was a little bit different because they invited the group from Calgary, Mass to come and present what their experience was with the carnival. So I'm very proud to say that I did listen to their whole presentation and I was able to ask questions and engage with them. And the reason I was able to do that is because just prior, I had a meeting with some concerned members of the community. And the general consensus is that if any group is willing to take it seriously from now until July of next year, they will get the support of everybody. But any and I think that is fair, even for myself. I'll say it now on air. I said it in the meeting. I am willing to support any collective, even if it's the Carry Mass Collective, as long as they are showing their administrative capacity and they're able to actually start to mobilize from now, because it's imperative if you're going to be able to put this type of thing on. In my humble opinion, just because of the Carry Mass themselves has stated on more than one occasion that they do not have the experience or the knowledge in terms of what they're doing, I would love to see them collaborate with another group that does have the experience to be able to host it and bring it together. Just because I just feel we'd be so much stronger as a community if we're able to do that. So again, my goal is to support and encourage any group that's willing to take the lead and make it happen and do it properly. The OFC community, we are prepared to support and encourage that and make that happen. So it's just a new day. The energy is lighter, brighter. There's no point in this carrying this heaviness. It doesn't benefit anybody. So I'm just putting it out there as we are here to build community. I'm excited to be able to be here, to be at the helm of it, and to be an example of what it means to work together in a community. We don't always have to see things eye to eye. We don't have to agree with our approaches, but we do have to be willing to put differences aside to work together for the greater good of it all. And that's what I'm here for, and that's what I'm really excited to be able to, support people with. So I guess
yeah. I just want to say, I think sometimes everything happens for a reason, and I think usually we used to take July off, but I guess it was to be taken off on August, but it gives you that introspective. It gives you that time to. I'm not saying that all of our lives is doing this OFC podcast, but sometimes when you have one less thing on your plate, it frees up some time to kind of do a lot of other things, reflect. It just gives you, you get that time back, right? And so that gave you, and maybe you wouldn't have been able to have that if every week we came on and it was just like, find another thing.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So. Facts, a great fact. So so with that, and as I have just another quick update to share with you guys, and it's great news. I shared it quickly on my social media that actually I was off for some time as well. I just recently turned it back on, and we now have a new studio to record out of. So shout out to Andrew. I'm really looking forward to being able to just share with the community and give you guys this new space to be able to come and record and to participate with us and be a part of our virtual studio audience, live virtual studio audience. So that's going to be really fun. So if as you're tuning in, and we're preparing. We're setting up our calendar for the next couple of months. Please reach out to the OFC if you have any products or services you'd like to promote, you'd like to get some visibility, whether it be your new business looking to expand, or looking to connect or introduce your product and service, or you're a long-standing business that you're just looking to expand. We are here at your service, so please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're glad to be able to do that. So again, moving forward is going to be super exciting. And if you want to be a part of our studio audience, reach out, get in contact. It's going to be awesome to have you on. So during today, actually, so the featured guest is yours truly. I am going to be deep diving as we are preparing to put out the OFC community card. I'm going to be taking just some time within today's show to go into a little more detail about what the card is about, how to get access to the card, the values of the community, why we've come up with these values and why it's so exciting, and just what to expect over the next couple of weeks within the OFC. So I can't pause and transition onto Parlay with the People without taking a pause for the cause and a quick moment of silence for my boy CB, also known as Clarence Baines. He had passed away on, actually should have been, was Saturday the 1st? Saturday or the 1st. I've lost track of the time. Whenever I think it was the 1st, September 1st. So whenever it was that,
it was Saturday.
No, it was hold on, let me just double check.
Saturday was the 1st. Friday was the 1st.
No, Saturday. It was the Friday. Friday in the morning or Saturday or Sunday in the morning. I'm sorry. Anyway, it was either the 1st or the 31st. I just recently found out. Yeah, I found out Sunday. So it would have either been, I think it was actually just yesterday morning. So yeah, it would have been the 1st. So Clarence Baines and I met him when I was just getting involved into community work. And he was one of the first people I had met. And I have to say, our initial connections weren't good. We snapped at each other a couple of times. We were like, it was cool because like I'm pretty outspoken and so is he, and he felt no way to really to cuss me a couple of times, and neither did I. So between him and I, we had a very animated relationship, to say the least, but it was an amazing relationship nonetheless. And I really enjoyed the guidance that he gave me, the wisdom that he shared, the jokes, the times that we had. As an elder in the community, he was there to set an example. He opened the way for a lot of things: Black Theater Workshop, the Quebec Board of Black Educators, the Black Community Resource Center, the Black Study Centers. So Clarence was really at the helm of launching a lot of initiatives that really did have an impact on our community. And if I could put anything out there, as we are now coming up as the next generation in community, I really urge the members out there, adults and youth alike, to just, to get involved in community into any capacity, because it's community that's going to save our children. It's the relationships and bonds that we've established with each other that's going to create a way for the next generation coming up. So you can make all the money in the world, you can do whatever you want, but I can tell you, without being a part of a community that's looking out for you, you have another thing coming. So again, shout out to Clarence Baines. We'll take a quick moment of silence as we get ready to transition into Parlay with the People. We started.
Parlay with the people. Parlay with the people. Parlay with the people. Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people. Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people. Parlay with the people, y'all.
And we are back. So I am excited to be the featured guest for today. What I'm here to share is going to be exciting, uplifting, and extremely empowering to our community. So as you guys already know, I'm Farrah Hamid Freeman, founder and director of the OFC. Give you guys a little bit of context. Today, I am sharing more about the OFC membership card. So for those who don't know, it's been almost 2 years that the OFC, we have been working on something to be able to identify the members of the OFC community. So for our longstanding members, I remember we've been in existence for about 15 years. So I have some really long standing members, and shout out to all you all. And the members will, those who remember and those who still have them will know that throughout the years we have distributed keychains to identify different members of the OFC. And as the years progress, we change the models, change the styles, we send out new keychains and stuff like that. But there was challenges and limitations because when a person is no longer with the OFC, one, there's no real way to deactivate their keychain. So what has happened in the past is people who are actually no longer members of the OFC still actually I don't want to say just benefit from from the OFC, but they're able to still go about as if they were members of the OFC. And at times it does happen where they get benefits, they get discounts, they get access to different opportunities, but it's not necessarily fair to the community. And it was really important for us to be able to find a way to secure the members and just to be able to ensure that those who are really benefiting from the efforts that are being made within the OFC are actually true OFC members. Now, giving you guys a little bit more background and context, recently we've made some changes within the OFC community just to ensure the safety of the members within the community. So, and the reason we had to do that is because when we promote businesses, different organizations within the community, if a person is not offering proper customer service, proper quality products, and is saying that they're representing the OFC community, it's bad for the brand, it's bad for the community, it's bad for what we're trying to do. So we wanted to make it a point to take a step backwards, ensure that every member of the OFC understood what it means to be members of the OFC, and we doubled down on this, on the need to have some type of form of identification for our members. So I'm excited to announce the OFC membership card is officially going to be coming out in October. The card we are able to collaborate with a member of the OFC community, a brother named Steven. And he's going to be coming in as a guest within the next couple of weeks to introduce his full platform. So I'm not going to go into full detail about it. But for those who are interested in finding out a little bit more about the machine behind the OFC membership cards, I'll encourage you to go check out hpay.com. So that's hpay.com. And just so you know, and just to commend this brother, he has invested in the and actually correction, it's not hpay.com. His platform is called hpay. So if you just Google hpay, you'll find the app hpay. But if you want to find out more about the actual organization, it's Hey Seller. So that's HEYSELLERPAY. Hey Seller Pay. Once you click that, that will redirect you to hpay.cash, and that's where you'll find out more. But just to commend this brother within the community, his company invested $2.5 million in order to have the same capacity as Visa. So what that means is that he has the means of creating prepaid credit cards. He can issue cards to people within the community. He can help people who need to get access to credit. There's tons of different advantages that he can do because of the fact that he's taken the time to establish this really, really powerful platform. And like I said, he has the same abilities as a Visa. So that is amazing, guys. So him having this capacity and partnering with the OFC. Now, normally what he does is that he sells franchises. So now a company can come in and purchase a franchise and basically do what he does. They could reproduce their own cards, they could have their own clients, et cetera, et cetera. Now, the OFC is not aiming towards, becoming a bank in any kind of way. We are through and through a community. We are a community organization. We're here to help individuals, businesses, and organizations, help them to build together, work together. But we want to create opportunities. We want to help to facilitate. We want to empower. So this card is enabling us to do that. Now, in our particular case, what we're using the card for First off, it is to identify members of the OFC. So very simply, by having your card physical or digital, because we will have a digital option as well, you will now be able to be identified as a member of the OFC. And from our central, when you're no longer a member of the OFC, we actually can deactivate the card. The other exceptional benefit is that it serves as your discount card. So in essence, when you go to different businesses within the OFC community and our partners, and I'll elaborate on the partners in a moment, when you do this, you are able to one, get your discount. So and when I say discounts, I'm talking anywhere between 5 to 70% off different products and services. And I'll elaborate in a minute. But you now have the capacity to be able to do that. You could get your discount. You'll be identified as a member of the OFC, and your discounts do not only apply to when you're spending money within the OFC community, because through this collaboration, it has opened up our world of partners. The one that excites me the most is the partnership between National Enterprise and Alamo, because all members now get 70% off their car rentals once you have your OFC member ID and you present it with the car rental location. There's a process to that, where once you're prepared to book, there's a one simple manual process that we have to put to advise them that you're booking and it's coming through us. But nonetheless, 70% off your rental is what you get as a member of the OFC using your OFC member discount card. And again, this is just one out of a plethora of places that members will be able to benefit from. So that is a super exciting initiative that we've launched. Now, there's an additional benefit to the card. I hope you guys are ready for this. I hope you're sitting down. The benefit is, for the first time ever, we are able to create a rewards program that spans across the entire community. So regardless to where you go, it's as if we now have our own community optimum, for lack of a better term. You can go and you can earn cash back. What, Pharaoh? What are you saying? We can spend money within the community and earn cash back? How so? This is what happens when I interview myself. Okay, so look, so basically what we're talking about is once you load funds onto the card. Now, this is optional. Now, you don't have to do this, but if you so choose, and if you want to benefit from the cashback, you load money onto the card. It's absolutely free to load money onto the card. You could do by email transfer. You could connect it to your bank account and transfer funds right onto the card like you would any other prepaid credit card. And now when you spend money using the card, there is a 0.5% cash back that you get on all your transactions made through the card. Beautiful people. Now, what's extra exciting about this opportunity, and another reason why I have to commend Stephen and the HPay collective, is that, as you guys know, when using any type of card, debit card, credit card, or whatever, there's usually a processing fee. Well, usually there's a processing fee with credit card. Sorry, not debit card, but with credit cards, there's usually a processing fee. Now, with this card, it is, first of all, the lowest processing fee. So all our merchants out there, the processing fee is 2%. All right. And it's not in addition to what you're already paying. You only pay your 2% processing fee. It is amazing. Now, from that 2%, HPay is splitting it with the OFC community. We're going half skis. 1% goes to HPay, 1% is given to the OFC. And then what we said is that our 1%, splitting it in half again. 0.5% is going to the members as a cashback, and the other 0.5% is going to an OFC fund that we're developing in order to create scholarships to benefit the youth of OFC parents. To me, I could not be more excited. I'm elated about the fact that we can now finally, one, have an incentivize the community. In addition, a bit more than just, hey, doing it for the cause. You actually now, once you spend within the community, you get a cash back. But now In addition to getting your cash back, you know that the funds that you are spending is going back to support your own youth as we are creating this scholarship to empower the youth within the community. So it's a huge, huge opportunity. It's a huge tool for us. Like I said, it's been 2 years in the making. We're almost there. I'm encouraging everybody to get in contact with the OFC as you're hearing this. If it's something that you want to get involved and you want to support, you want to take part in, reach out to us. The cards are absolutely free for all members. Now, let me explain. As you guys already know, we have 4 different tiers of membership. Starting from the top down. So we have our affiliates and we have our partners. Those are $500 for the year. We have our business owners and organizations and entrepreneurs. Those are $250 a year. We have our individuals and families. Those are $200 a year. And then we have our subscribers. And the subscribers are only $20 a year. A couple of things that's important for you guys to know. First of all, every membership tier, except for subscribers, are open to your entire family. So when you come in as an individual, or you come in as a business or as a partner, you make your membership payment for the year. It's not just you that's getting a membership. Your spouse and your children are all considered members. They all get member IDs. They're all welcome to get a membership card. They get keychains, the whole 9. They are part of the community. And why do we do that? Because within the OFC, we are a community first. Yes, we have a large business network. We do a lot within the community, but at the base, we are a community first. We are here to build with individuals. We're here to build strong families. So there is absolutely no value in us only building with the business owner in your household when the spouse is not into business at all, the children are into business, and there's a huge disconnect. For us, we want to know that if your spouse is not into business, what are they into? Are they into social initiatives, social activities? Are they trying to get out? Are they working on a project that they can use help with? Know that they could benefit from the OFC community. It's important for us to know that your youth know that they're part of an OFC community, because every single thing we do is for them as the future generation. So as they see a need, they need a mentor, they're graduating, they need letters of support, they're looking for work, they're looking for summer work, they're looking for letters of reference, they're looking for intern opportunities, stage opportunities, they should be able to lean on their uncles and their aunties within the OFC community, because that is why we came to being. Encore, ça, c'est qu'est-ce qu'on fait, c'est pour tout le monde. Je veux répéter juste en français, juste pour être sûr que tout le monde comprend, c'est pour tout le monde. On est là pour tout le monde. So guys, it is really important that you guys grasp this and just understand like what we're doing within the community. So yes, these are the different levels of membership. These are the different tiers of membership. Something else to know about the cost of membership. First of all, for the different tiers, business from partner, business, individual, as well as subscriber, we have payment options. Now, well, actually, subscriber, $20 for the year. We don't necessarily have payment options for that one. Affiliates, there's the payment option. You have the option to split the payments in half. For businesses coming up and individuals, you have the option. You could do monthly, you could do quarterly, you can do biannually. The point is we want to make it accessible for you all as members. But there's a kicker. It gets even better, guys, because regardless to what it costs to join the OFC, we have a rule. We will never put money over members. What does that mean? So despite your financial means, if you want to join the OFC community, if you resonate with the values that we're going to go through in a minute, if this is speaking to you and you just right now, you do not have all the financial means to cover your membership, you reach out to us. All you got to do, one, we just need to know that, yes, you are in line with our values and you're prepared to build with the community, and you could use the support that we offer. Two, you let us know what you can contribute. Okay. We will accept your offering. Okay. Yes, there needs to be some form of offering because there's a huge value in what we're doing. So we can't do it for absolutely nothing because we do have operational costs, we do have things, but we will never let that hinder a member. So you give us whatever offering that you can as a contribution to the community, and we will credit the rest, and we will start to work with you and build with you and get you to the point where you need to be. That is the promise that we make to the community, anybody who knows. So regardless of what it costs, you're welcome to be able to join if you do resonate. So now, very quickly, I want to go through the values with you guys as we're preparing to just wind down. I want you to understand what the values and the golden rules of the OFC are. And if you resonate with these and you want to jump into the OFC community and find out more about the awesomeness that we are and what we do, you'll be welcome to do so. Again, why does the OFC exist? We want you to live your best life. Our whole purpose of being an organization is to support you all in your desire to be more, to be greater, to be bigger. We really want you to tap into your truest potential. And we've come to realize that the only reason people are not is because of a lack of opportunity, a lack of connection, a lack of relationships, and sometimes even just a lack of knowledge. They just don't know what to do. So we are here to facilitate all of that for those who want to level up. The OFC is not, and I repeat, the OFC is not a community, I guess to say we're not a community resource. Okay, and what does that mean? We're not a 401 that you just go to just because I need something. I'm rolling off the street and I'm coming to the OFC. That's not the space. This is not the place for it. The OFC, we are a membership club. If you want to give us, you want to compare us to anything, we're like a gated community. When you join the community, we want to know who's joining the community. We're prepared to support you in any way that we can, but it's really important to know that you are in line with the values of this community. You understand what we're here to do and why we're here to do it. So let's break it down. We have 8 values within the OFC and 2 golden rules. All right. Our values, we liken them to a physical body. And it's a little trick that my spirit gave me to help me remember all the values. Now, first of all, remembering that there's 8 is easy. 8 is like an infinity number. So that's dope. Second, starting from the top, what goes on the top of your head is your hat. That's HAT. So that's our 3 top values, which is honesty, accountability, and transparency. All right. That's the top 3. Then as we move down the body, we are now at the heart. And the heart are 2 values that hit the heart is 1, the youth. So we are building for the future generation. So that's value number 4. And number 5 is love. Love for yourself and love for others. Okay, because you cannot pour into anybody else from an empty vessel. People, you need to love yourself first and then you can love others. But that is a value of the OFC. Number 6. It goes down to your gut, and your gut is your commitment to excellence. Now, why is this so important? The reason we're building community, the reason we want you to live your best life is so that we can be an example and a support for our future generation coming up. If we are not committed to excellence, we cannot be an example. We cannot empower anybody. If we're lackluster when it comes to our business, we're not dedicated to what we're doing, we can't create no jobs. If the quality of the service and the product we're doing is subpar, we can't set no examples. Like we can't mentor anybody if we don't have certain like ethics and values. And that is the point of the OFC. We're not in it for jokes. We're not in it for hypotheticals. We're not in it for theory. We're not getting huge grants where we just need to check boxes. We are dedicated to serving the needs of our community because as we bless you guys return and bless us. So we are dedicated to ensuring that we're actually fulfilling your needs, providing proper customer service, proper qualities, and genuinely helping you to move forward. So with that, it's important that people who join the OFC understand why you're joining the OFC, understand the importance of what you're doing, the importance of just you being here, because you just being here, you're creating an opportunity for another person. We want to invest in your business. We want it to grow so that you could create that job. We want to help you as an individual to navigate life better so that you could be a better parent. You could be there to support. We want to be there for you. All right. But we need for you to understand the importance to providing that excellence. All right, let's keep it moving. After we move from the gut, we move down to the last 2 values. And I say last 2 values, very far from least. 1 is we got to be good stewards to the planet. All right, so value number 7 is basically honoring our planet, Gaia, Mother Nature. Recycle, people. Just be mindful. Don't throw garbage on the ground. Simple things. All right. Last value. It should be first, but it's foundational, so it's okay that it's last. And then just acknowledging our ancestors in every single thing that we do. Woo! Round of applause! Because beautiful people, our ancestors are present with us in present day. They're here before, they're here tomorrow, they're here right now, as I just said. So understand that we need to acknowledge them in everything. They open the door, they open the way, they create opportunities. So it's important that we acknowledge them in everything. Last two things is our golden rules. Number one, do unto others as you want done to yourself. That goes without saying. And shout out to DJ Blaster, because Blaster posted something on social media. I think it was, I want to say maybe 2 days ago or something. And what he had said was really, it touched me, because it was in line with the value that I always say, but he just said it in an easier way. And he said, treat people the way you want to be treated. Yo, can we let that marinate for a little? Shut up, Blaster. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Guys, do unto others as you want done to you. It ain't complicated. Anyway, Blaster said, because he's a member of the OFC. Shut up, Blaster. You already know. But but it's important that people get that, right, guys? It's really, really, really important. Do to others as you want done to yourself, guys. Life is karmic. So know that whatever you do, you're doing it to yourself. You do bad to people, trust me. Trust and believe you're doing bad to yourself. So do good to others, good will come to you. Do unto others what you want done to yourself, and watch how your life just expands. Last golden rule is that the customer does not always have to be right, but they do have to be happy. Now, what does that mean? So, there's a saying, the customer is always right. That is BS, actually. That is big BS. I do a lot of business, my people, and the customer is not always right. But in the case of being a member of the OFC and understanding our golden rule, it's to understand that, no, the customer does not have to be right, but the customer does have to be happy. We all know that in business, when things go left, you could have just a difference of opinion and call it a day, and the customer leaves disgruntled. You continue your business, it's their business. Now, because you're part of this community, we actually need to go just one step further, and we cannot leave the customer disgruntled. And the reason for it is because as a community, we are dedicated to bringing you clients, bringing you business. We want to establish wealth within our community. Wealth is not off of one-off customers, okay? And if no one ever told you that, I'm telling you right now, all right? Wealth is established because of the fact that you have repeat customers, and those repeat customers bring a friend, and they become repeat customers, and then you grow wealth. Now, if we cannot create repeat customers for your business, we have a problem. So if you have a fallout with a member, it does not work out, and that member walks away unhappy. One, they're not coming back. Two, they're going to tell 2-3 people about them being disgruntled. Now, the opposite is you saying, okay, you know what? You're not happy. You're not right, but let's find a middle ground so that at least you're happy. And that's all people really need these days. They will be very satisfied with a middle ground. So let's find a middle ground so that you're happy. And that person, I could guarantee you make that person feel warm and fuzzy about the circumstance. Not just that they're coming back, they're bringing in 2 people. I've seen it happen in the past. All right. So this is some of the things that we do within the OFC. Within our new platform, I'm really excited because we're really encouraging the members to give each other reviews. So once you've done business with a member of the OFC, the reviewing is actually something that it's hard to say mandatory, but it is something we're imposing. We're really asking that the members do it because that is what keeps us accountable as a community. We are not here to tear each other down. We are here to lift each other up. But at the same time, if you drop the ball, it's important that you know, because that's how you're able to fix it. If I don't tell you that you dropped the ball, but I go and tell 5 of the people that you dropped the ball, I'm not doing you no favors. So within the OFC, yes, we hold each other accountable. If I'm not happy with the service, we will review it or report it because it comes in to the OFC administration. And then we do, it is time for us to sit down and to build together and, to make sure that we can find that middle ground. So this is one of the things for being part of the OFC that people really need to understand. So guys, so now I've given you the full gambit. I've explained to you what the card is about. I've explained to you what the community is about. It's important, again, I'm stressing it just because the card is exciting and it's fun. but the card is a benefit of being a part of the OFC community, right? So it's not just about the card, it's a benefit of being a part of the community. So if you resonate with this and you would like to participate and you would like to be able to have, grow within community, and at the very base, if you could just benefit from the discounts, because beautiful people, I know we're in a recession, so let's not, you know what I mean? Let's not pretend. Saving a 10% here, a 15% here, a 70% here, it goes a long way. Now, as I'm closing out this interview with myself, I'm going to I'm gonna share a little something. The design on the card, all right, it was designed by our brother Quentin Versetti. Check out Afrofuturism. They have an amazing event coming up in October that we're going to be present at, so definitely check them out. I'm going to read to you the description of the card. Okay, now you'll see on the card on the front of it, it looks like a golden ring. So the golden Afrofuturistic ring gadget was designed to be a portal and a charging port to speak to the multifunctionality of the OFC and its forward thinking to empower its members. The design utilizes the sacred geometry of ancient Kemet and Nisbidi inspired script to form a motherboard-like circuit to speak to the notion that the past inspires us to build better futures, which echoes the sentiments of the One Full Circle community. The golden color speaks to the value and importance of community, which is the focus of OFC's mission. So guys, just to tell you, we've taken a lot of time. We're really dedicated to this. We are excited about the potential of what this could do for our community. We are happy to be able to offer this to members of the community. If you're out there and you want to find out how to even get involved on other levels, you want to find out about becoming a partner of the OFC, you're hearing this and you're wondering, can we offer these type of cards to our members? Reach out to us, because we can create partnerships, collaborations, and do this for you as well. Guys, I'm Flower Hamid Freeman, and as I end out this interview, you know how I like to leave the community with words, or I ask that our guests leave our listeners with words of encouragement or words of empowerment. My words that I want to leave with you all is to know your worth. And when I say know your worth, I mean understand how important you are as an individual on this planet. You matter, you're important, how you feel matters. Pay attention to how you feel. That is your guidance system. Anytime that you are not feeling good, know that it's your spirit just guiding you in another direction. Pay attention to how you feel. Know how important you are to the planet. You matter. You mean a lot. Your contribution to this planet helps it to spin. So understand that your negative contribution does a thing and your positive contribution does a thing also. So just be mindful to yourself and understand who you are and just know your worth, beautiful people. Sending you mad love, light, and strength. And on to the next, as we're getting ready to take a pause for the cause, and we'll be back with more OFC Podcast Radio.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Actually, it's time to ungrind those gears. Let's get into some interesting facts, tips, and a whole lot of fun with Gina the Great.
What the facts is going on? I'm going to have a series of updates for you. Not updates, a series of facts for you guys for the next couple of weeks, as I came upon a page that was highlighting a few historical events in the Black community that occurred, I think, July, August. So today we're starting off with Black and minority farmers getting $2 billion in payments after the USDA acknowledges years of discrimination.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So the Biden administration made a historic $2.2 billion payout to Black and other minority farmers who faced loan discriminations from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, marking a step towards reconciling a long history of Black-owned farmlands. So the payouts were made to over 23,000 farmers across the country, are an acknowledgement of the long and documented history by the USDA towards Black farmers. Biden said in a statement, most went to farmers in Mississippi and Alabama and ranged from $10,000 to $500,000. So John Boyd, who was a fourth generation farmer in Mecklenburg, Virginia, and the head of the National Black Farmers Association, says the payout is the result of decades-long fight from black farmers and advocates across the country. And he quotes, "This is a very historic win for me personally and for the National Black Farmers Association because we were out front, leading the way and leading the charge to get these payments done," he said. Last week, J.D. Vance, the Republican vice president nominee, called the payments disgraceful on CBS's Face the Nation. He said that Black farmers were given special benefits, in quotes, because of their skin color, and said that the payout discriminates against white farmers. Well, Vance.
Wow. Tell me how you really feel, Mr. my G.
Vance, right.
My goodness.
The Harris administration, for example, handed out farm benefits to people based on skin color, Vance said. "I think that's disgraceful. I don't think we should say you get farm benefits if you're a Black farmer, you don't get benefits if you're a white farmer." Well, so Boyd responded to that, and he said Vance's comments are despicable and ignore decades of systematic discrimination towards not only Black farmers, but other farmers of color, women, LGBTQ farmers. He took a low, he says in quotes, he took a low blow at the oldest occupation in history for Black people, which is farming, not taking into account or into consideration how poorly Black farmers were treated. As a Black farmer in Virginia, Boyd experienced discrimination from the local USDA officer firsthand in the 1980s. He said that the local officer repeatedly refused to give him a loan, would call him derogatory names, and would only meet with Black farmers one day a week, while white farmers could come in and for loans whenever they wanted, Boyd recounted. He isn't alone in the experience. For years, Black farmers have faced discrimination from the USDA and have been denied loans and credit rates and receive credit rates exponentially higher than other demographics, explains David Wheaton, an attorney with the National Association of the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP. They could have just put NAACP, but okay. The Legal Defense Fund. So throughout the 20th century, Black farmers lost an estimate of $326 billion worth of land due to discriminatory lending practices from the USDA and the forced sales of Black-owned land, according to the 2022 analysis by the New Republican. So that's a big win. And when you're looking at what was lost, that $26 billion worth of land to the $2.2 billion that's being paid out, it's not one for one, but it's something to be said, because it can, it can only pay out to those who are still in the practice today. But I don't think people understand the value of land and what that $326 billion worth of land is worth a hell of a lot more today. But to all those Black folks in the U.S. who are thinking about voting for Trump because, again, I think we said this before we left, right? Because they were just like, well, he gave them the stimulus checks or whatever, which, by the way, was not his decision. What Biden has really done in his administration is forgive loans for students. And in this particular case, this is a Biden administration initiative. Is it coming in a timely manner during an election year? Sure, it is. But what wasn't an election year is all the loan for the student loan forgiveness that he did, where people literally were forgiven for, I think it was like, the highest number I heard was like $269,000 worth of loans. So
yeah, that's huge. And I'm not into politics at all, as you already know. But I have been hearing that there's a lot of positivity with this Kamala Harris doing her thing. And she's obviously, I guess, part of Biden's administration.
Well, yeah, but I think she's acting president right now because he did step down to help. Yeah, exactly. So right. Yeah, it's her till the end of until the election comes up. So
that's what's up, yo. So so we got a Black woman president right now. Eh? When I say I'm fully Canadian.
And I'm going to say this to say, because I always preface that, like, I mean, we're not Americans, but understand, dear Canadian listeners, that we are directly affected by how the politics go down in the U.S.
100.
like directly affected. So it is in our interest as well to follow and understand what's going on over there.
But unfortunately, we can't vote. So it's like we just have to kind of listen to what's happening, but we actually have no say or anything.
Yeah. Unless you are here living in Canada and still have your American citizenship, you can go ahead and just do what you got to do at the border, or however it's done. I don't know.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I have a motivational post that I came across that I'd like to share with everybody. So this is a little video we're gonna play here. So let's set that up.
Wrong nearly 40% of the time, so much so that it's been named the restaurant of mistaken orders. And yet, the establishment boasts a 99% customer satisfaction rate. That's because all of the servers are living with dementia, and mistakes here aren't just forgiven, they're considered a feature of the restaurant. The Japanese business was created as a way to change perceptions about aging and progressive cognitive impairment. Its founder, Shiro Oguni, says that he originally had the idea while visiting a nursing facility for lunch. He'd ordered a burger, but he instead received a dumpling and he considered sending it back. But he ultimately figured that the mistake was harmless, and seeing the range of abilities of the people around him, he realized that many people live with minor mishaps like this every day, and that doesn't always have to be a bad thing. So he set out to create a space where mistakes were allowed, and might even spark some laughter and encourage people to try foods that they wouldn't normally order. And it's a win-win situation because it also gives the servers the opportunity to interact with the community in a positive way. The atmosphere is incredibly upbeat and accepting, with people enjoying whatever comes to their table. One server's husband even said that he saw his wife's confidence, which had been dampened since her Alzheimer's diagnosis, completely restored because of the restaurant. And a founding executive says that he thinks it's not only about raising awareness, but also about showing that it's possible to create a society where people are just kind to each other. The restaurant of mistaken orders is in Kyoto, but it's not open all the time. It operates as a recurring pop-up that opens for a few days at a time in different locations. I'm Jen, and I post something positive.
So I found that to be really interesting, because one thing's for sure is that well, even let's talk about Quebec, right? We're an aging population here in Quebec. There's a great number of aging population here in Quebec, and this microwave society that we live in, we tend to forget very easily, out of sight, out of mind, and some of the people, I feel like you need people the most when you first come into this world and when you're, making your way out of it. And you get a lot less support when you're making your way out of it. And so I found that to be very motivational. And I think it was a great initiative that this person put on.
Honestly, I think it is a real awesome example to show, like, positive human spirit, like really what it can. For me personally, I might not even order. I might just go and just let them choose whatever, as long as it doesn't have meat in it. Just because I don't necessarily understand the point of me giving you an order so you could come back with something else. So you want to just bring me whatever you feel.
Yeah, but I mean, you still want you want them to feel like they're doing something. But I said to myself, I was like, oh, when I first, I was like, I'm gonna go and visit there if they're popped up. I was like, but then again, if I'm just like, can I get the vegetarian tempura? And then they bring me like pork dumplings, I'll be like,
that's really joking.
And I'd have to be like, great job, and then kind of try to pack it up or just offer it to somebody else because I can't eat that. Basically, I would go and not be hungry.
That's okay. Then now we're talking. So it's more just for the experience, not to actually get anything to eat. Okay, good.
And maybe just order something to drink and a dessert.
Right. Okay. See, that's thinking ahead, because I was, me already. I'm finicky with my food. I was already like, yo, I'm gonna just go there and just be like, I'm leaving hungry, I guess, today. But all right, cool. That's what it is.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you are bilingual, this next article pertains to you. Or trilingual or multilingual, actually, really. So research shows that bilinguals may unconsciously shift personalities based on the language that they're speaking. So bilinguals might express varied emotions and behaviors depending on the language and its cultural context. The phenomenon is often referred to as language-dependent personality. Bilinguals often feel like they have different selves depending on the language, And they also often excel at multitasking due to their practice in switching between languages. Do you feel like you exhibit a different self when you're speaking English versus speaking French?
Well, first of all, I could tell you, no, all right, right away, I don't feel different when I'm speaking English or French, but I can say, depending on the type of French that you're speaking, you might feel different. There's,
Mm.
there's some real dirty Quebec French that when you say it, it's like when you talk it and you're saying actually pretty sacrilegious things that could land you in hell if you said it at the wrong time. Um, or you're talking more up class, like upper class. I'm just communicating in French, and you feel more like hey, anybody
I
out
don't
there?
like the upper class term of it all, but
I'm
okay.
sorry, but just to give you context, right? It's just so you could understand the contrast, because it does sound like that when you buck across a real French person that's being given you some terms. Matter of fact, shout out to Big Will. He had a comedian on there where this woman who is a white Haitian woman, funny enough, who is born who has all kind of Quebec roots, and she was able to talk and really give us the translations to some of these derogatory French terms that they use in, call it the dirty French. You got the dirty South, you got that dirty French. So when you're talking that, you do feel a certain country in you. You feel like when you're talking that dirty French, you inside, you do feel like ST this and that. But that's the only time I feel a little different, when I'm going there with my voice.
Interesting. Well, I was told that I was told by one person that they felt that my voice was deeper in English than it was in French. And I was just like, oh, I don't know.
Ok, laisse-moi voir, parle en français. C'est quoi que tu parles français?
Oh, you're just gonna put me on.
Mais quoi, tu parles pas français? Tu parles pas français? Comme moi, je parle français tout le temps.
Non, tout à fait, je parle français. Je parle français au travail, je parle français dans ma vie. On est quand même au Québec.
C'est ça, exact. Fait qu'on est sur le spot, mais on vit sur le spot, on vit en Montréal.
Non, mais c'est juste une question de si je suis super consciente de comment je parle en français en ce moment parce que tu me mets sur le spot. So,
yeah, you definitely sound deeper in English.
All right, well. I have a switch self then. There's a switch self. But it's funny when and I say that, it's like I don't always go in the comments, but the comments were there right next to the post, and Chef Marcella said 100%. En inglés hablo como un pinche Minnie Mouse. So it says like in English she sounds like a lazy Minnie Mouse, and in Spanish she speaks like she's part of the Arellano cartel. And another person says that they speak 3 languages and her tone varies based on her which language she switches onto. So she found that pretty interesting. Then I came across another comment that says, okay, this is code switching, but here goes academia, quote unquote, discovering something we've always known and have done all of our lives. The shifting between languages, including African American vernacular, also has a deep cultural significance, not to mention the survival implications. As someone who speaks 3 languages, not only is there a change in language, there's a change in tone, pitch, and even mannerism when speaking. Even facial expressions change when thinking in another language. Those of us who's had the privilege of being bilingual, even speaking dialects of the same language, have always done and known this, at least in my experience. And here's the thing about this comment, right? I don't agree or disagree with what he says, and it's not 100% right. It's not 100% wrong. I loved the probably from like the 3rd or 4th line down, when it was just kind of adding to what this article was saying. It's the whole trying to downgrade that. There's like, oh, this is academia trying to label this, and we've known this, and this is code switching. This isn't quite code switching, by the way. That's not what code switching is. I think he's erroneous in that correlation. I think it's mutually exclusive what they're trying to say and what code switching actually is. And code switching is about survival. But it's kind of like, here's the thing, OMG_man. When you're trying to educating people who already know what you know is great for discourse and exchanging thoughts and conversation. But when someone's going to put an article that extends to people who may not be aware of these things, and this is part of like how you reduce discrimination and how you teach people, is that instead of trying to put a negative connotation in terms of what they're trying to put out there as information, it's just a piece of education for those who didn't know to know, and even for those who aren't in that space, because I didn't consider how I may sound differently from one to another, or that there are different selves and these research is being done. So I just feel like we're in this era of like being like, well, we the blacks knew this already. We the people of color knew this already. Like, how come you guys didn't know this? We've known this. And it's like, I mean, no one wants to be taught that way. I like, if you tell me that, like, I don't care now.
And but you know, it's funny. Well, I have this conversation with people all the time, because it's like, when you, in the art of communication, if you're trying to get your point across, you definitely want to deliver it in a way that the person can receive it. So if you come in with a kind of vibe and a kind of attitude, you turn people off. They're not receptive. And it's funny, like off topic, on topic, but even within the province of Quebec, if they would have approached the population learning French as an advantage, opposed to forcing it on people,
yes, agreed.
In a logical sense, like no one's going to fight to be more empowered. Like, oh shoot, now I could actually go to Paris to communicate. But no, I'm going to fight. I'm going to resist learning another language, but it's human nature, because of the way you're forcing it on me. You're not making it enjoyable, not making it palatable. So now, even though it is logical for me to want to learn it, I don't want to, because of the way it's being forced onto me, So it is, but mind you,
it's honey and vinegar, right?
Yeah.
You attract more bees with honey than vinegar. And it's just like, this is that whole thing too. Is just like I said, 3/4 of their comment was like, yes, that's good, that's reinforcing, but it already just started off with it was sandwiched. At first, it's just like, oh, academia, and then at the end, it's just like, well, we known this. How come you didn't know this either?
Okay, but
sorry, go ahead.
And I'm sorry to but I do distinctly remember hearing my mother and my grandmother definitely changing their tone and sounding white depending on who called on the phone.
But that's code switching. That's exactly not what they're saying here.
No, and true. That's why, okay, very true.
Yeah,
okay, yeah, good
that's
point,
what I'm saying. Because, the article that was put out does not correlate with code switching.
Okay,
because code switching, first of all, you're not changing language. Code switching isn't about changing languages. Code switching is about you needing to
sound white to be able to get true.
You have to be, and it doesn't necessarily be all white, right? Like part of that. And let me use an example. Let me use you as an example, actually. Not that you had to necessarily code switch, but this is an experience, a situation that maybe you would code switch if you're in it, and maybe if you were white, you do it. But do you remember the story when you were in Trinidad? You were visiting Trinidad, and you guys took a maxi taxi, but it was in a car, right? So like a maxi taxi, and he was in the car with you, and you were in the car in the back, and they were dropping your dad off first before dropping you. So he was telling them where to go, and he's like, okay, let's drop him off at XYZ. And so when they got to their destination, or to your destination, when you left out, you kind of just said, okay, thanks, bye, in your very Canadian accent, and everybody in the car turned around and watched you like this whole time.
I so remember that.
But in that moment, you already told yourself purposely, I'm not saying a word until I get to where I'm going.
Yep, that's 100%. Cause like, I'm sitting in the car, all these guys, they have not I'm gonna say a word so they know I'm here as a foreigner.
That part. And so that's even a situation where you would, if you had to open your mouth, you might have started with a, oh gosh, where are we going? I didn't see that. I don't remember this here. Is this the right word?
Oh gosh, yes. Yeah, fast. That's a code switch. True, and it
would have been a code switch, and that would have been for. We're not saying that these people would have maybe taken a left where they were supposed to take a right, and then took you for all you got. I'm just saying sometimes you code switch because you just don't know how the situation's gonna be.
Yeah.
Do I need to get all uppity when I'm talking to certain execs? Maybe really I don't. And sometimes like I come with that like clean cut English and they're just like, oh yeah, all right. So what the shit's going on here? And it's like, okay, I know that we don't have to get real business acumen-y with you,
Right,
but you start there because then you got to gauge the situation.
Facts.
But yeah. So I'm gonna end this off. I know I normally have trivia, but I don't have trivia today. Today it's just a couple of fun facts that can potentially be used for trivia for you in the future. And I say you, the listeners. But these were all things that I had no idea, and it kind of talks about the origin of where certain terms come from. And so let's get into this right now.
Carriage drivers would often bring someone along to sit next to them as security, and they usually carried a shotgun. Hence the reason why we call shotgun when we want to sit in the passenger seat of a vehicle. Also in the Wild West era, when a man was low on cash, he would offer the bartender a bullet in exchange for a small drink, which was usually whiskey, so this became known as a shot of whiskey. In medieval times, it was widely believed that a full moon could cause strange behaviors in individuals, so when a person's behavior changed during a full moon, they were considered a lunatic, which originated from the Latin word for moon, which is luna. In the 1500s, it was popular for people to sell piglets at the market in little bags. Sometimes the sellers would replace the piglet with a less valuable cat, but often shoppers would ask to see inside the bag before buying, to make sure it was not a scam, and if it was, they quite literally let the cat out the bag. In the 19th century, public sports such as boxing or racing were often started by someone dropping a hat. This required participants to be ready, which later led to the phrase, "at the drop of a hat."
Wow.
Did you know any? Yeah, do you know any of those?
None. Yo, to let the cat out of the bag, that is great.
Right? Even the shotgun. We've been saying shotgun every time. Oh, shotgun. I had no idea. It's because someone who was sitting next to you in a carriage literally was holding a shotgun.
Shotgun. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, learn something new every day. Thank you.
Every day. And the lunatic one, I think Kaya had alluded to that few episodes back. I mean, it had to be a few episodes back because Kaya's living her life out in the motherland. And so that's pretty much what I have here. And I'll have a couple of those for the next couple of weeks. So I'm not saying trivia is going away. It's not. But I just came across these a couple of these postings, and I thought they were worth a share.
Oh, definitely. And don't worry, we got our boy Vance Michelle is going to be coming back as a guest, a guest host, and he has some trivia, so he'll be able to bring it for you and I to participate in. Gina the Great.
Can't wait for that. Oh yes, so forgot. New song coming out eventually, but this is a preview to the song. It's called Drugs. It's by Nara. I don't know if she has an actual artist name, but it's going to be Nara. And so have a listen.
I've been holding on for so long. Hey, go faster. I got what it is you need. Baby, this ain't new to me. Show me I won't waste your time. Tell
Well, I grind, you grind, and sometimes we need to ungrind together. That's Ungrind My Gears with Gina the Great. We'd like to thank our special guests. This episode is possible thanks to the awesome people at CKUT, the OFC, Drew, and the Caribbean Curry House. Do you have any shout-outs?
Well, one, I'm just excited. I'm glad to be back. So thank you all, community. Thank you for your patience. I hope you guys had an awesome summer. Like I said at the beginning of the show, if you have anything coming up, you want to come on the show, you want to connect, you might want to be a guest as a part of our live virtual audience. We'd love to have you, so just reach out, OFC. You can contact us directly, 514-651-4545. You use the same number on WhatsApp, or send us an email at support@ofccommunity.com. And I want to leave you guys with a quick nugget. Remember to meditate or to take time. If you're a religious person, pray. If it, whatever it is, take time to acknowledge the spirits above and within. And when you're in the process of creating, like you want to make something happen, remember to speak about it positively. Put out the affirmation, put out your intention. So I intend to get XYZ done. I intend to get ABC done. Don't worry about how it's going to happen, and just relax into your spirit, whether it be now go into your meditation, go into your prayer, go into whatever, but you're giving your spirit time to start to work on your intention. So you'll be able to do less physically, and your spirit will manifest more for you. All right, so that I want to leave you guys with that.
And my shout outs go out to the August babies, and Zinga, Bryson, and JoJo. Those are the August babies, and then now Sylvan, which is too. And then just honestly, again, a special shout out to Isaiah and Zoe for being my support system up that Poke-O mountain. See, it got me stuttering. But really, honestly, shout out to them, because had I not gone with them, because originally I was supposed to go with my mom and my aunt too, were supposed to come on, and I already knew 10 minutes in, my mom would have been like, I'll be in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, you didn't even do the proper research. I'm just inviting people to things that you don't even know about. Maybe not 10 minutes. I think my mom would have given me a solid half hour. My aunt might have given me a 45, and she probably would have met my mom on her way down, who would have just been sitting on a rock.
Yeah, but, waiting for you. You're gonna cross back this way, right, Gina?
Yeah,
when you're ready?
eventually. Okay. Yeah. So shout out to them, because I do truly believe, had it not been with them, I would have made it up to that peak, and I'm glad that I did. So
yo, that's love. Shout out to Auntie Janine and the fam for just always being Auntie Janine. But hey, and shout out to Isaiah and Tommy. Isaiah's an OFC member, so I just got to send love to the whole family. Hey, before I forget, guys, remember, as like I said when I was doing during the Parley with the People, this is, if you want to get your name on your card, please take a moment to register. I've posted on all the social medias. Check your emails, check your texts, check your WhatsApps. Please make it a point to register. It takes 2 minutes, not even. All you're doing is confirming the name that you want on your card, letting us know if you want a digital one or a physical one, and how many cards that you need. All right, guys, but please take a moment to do that. The deadline, we've extended it, so it is tomorrow, which is Friday, September 6th, 11:59 p.m. is the deadline to get your names in. All right, peace and blessings.
Kings and Queens, this was the OFC Podcast Radio with Pharaoh Hammond Freeman, Queen Kaya, and myself, Gina the Great. We're on every Thursday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on CKUT 90.3 FM. Hopefully you got your dose of entertainment, enlightenment, and empowerment. Stay blessed and highly favored.
OFC Podcast Radio.